How's it going, everyone? And by God, your opportunity to give PlayStation money so you can spend money on their games is here. They are offering early access to the PSN summer sale, which I was expecting to kick off next week. I was actually going to give you guys a heads up that it was going to kick off next week, but then they dropped this early access, so now we know it's kicking off next week on July the 15th. They've been doing this from time to time where PlayStation Plus subscribers will have early access to some of the bigger sales. I want to say they gave early access to Black Friday deals as well, or the holiday sale deal. Seems to be a typical thing to incentivize people to sign up for PlayStation Plus. Not really a huge deal. The deals are going to open up to everyone come July the 15th, and the July savings sale is still running, so you might want to have a gander at that if you want to pick anything up from that. But it's only 200 deals as well that are live as a part of the summer sale right now for early access. There's gonna be a lot more, you guys. This is the tip of the iceberg. I would imagine like well over 2,000, 3,000 deals, like around that range. So there's gonna be a lot for you to sink your teeth into, but there are some major games already discounted. Assassin's Creed Shadows is 25% off for $52.50, and it seems like a lot of these price points are in line with what the price points were during the Steam summer sale. So, you know, if you want to look up the deals that were offered on that, or go through the database on Steam, you can find what these price points are gonna end up being. But $52.50 for AC Shadows, look, even though I was down on Assassin's Creed Shadows, a lot of that is because I am not crazy about the newer Assassin's Creed games. If you want a big open world with a sizable amount of content, there's fun to be had with AC Shadows. It's PS5 Pro upgraded. I think $52.50 is probably a little bit too expensive. Like, I would wait for the $30 range, but yeah, I thought it was a fine open world title. It's just the newer Assassin's Creed games don't do anything for me, so take that for what you will. You know what game does do something for me? Forza Horizon 5, and I was saying even at $60, this game was worth it, even being a 3-year-old game, 4-year-old game, and you know what, that might be a little bit of a stretch, but if Sony can release Ghost of Tsushima 4 years after its release and charge $60 for it on PC, what's wrong with Microsoft releasing Forza Horizon 5? Well, now it's going to be 25% off. And if I can do some math here, that would bring it down to, what, $45? I'm totally doing, am I doing math correctly there? I think I am. I think it would be $44.99. I'm not logged in on the PlayStation Store, so I'm looking on the browser. So yes, it would be $44.99. But Forza Horizon 5 is tremendous, you guys. It's unfortunate that it looks like Turn 10's Forza Motorsport is going to the wayside. I don't know if we'll ever get a port of Motorsport onto PlayStation. Maybe, you know, it would be conflicting with Gran Turismo, but I think it'd still be worthwhile to drop Forza Motorsport on PlayStation 5, but Horizon is without a doubt the better franchise as far as my taste in gaming, but I love Motorsport as well. Horizon, more on the arcadey side, but a great open world experience, and another game that is so great to just, you know, long day at work, come home, kick back, relax. Forza Horizon is one of those great titles. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered is $40. You know, it's Oblivion upgraded. It's still a little bit dated in a lot of areas, but a lot of you guys are going to be incredibly nostalgic for it. GTA 5 Premium Edition is $15. Red Dead 2 is going to be $15 as well. Mortal Kombat 1 on sale. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero getting a notable discount. 30% off, which would knock it down to $48.99. Sparking Zero had so much buzz and attention when it initially came out that now, you know, not really talked about. It looks like the longevity and the viability wasn't really there, but I think a lot of people saw that coming. Look, games like this that tug on the nostalgic heartstring, they'll do big initially. The longevity of it ultimately is up to the updates and how much it's going to keep players engaged, and Sparking Zero didn't do exactly that. Like I've always said, when it comes to games that are driven by nostalgia, or nostalgia in general, it's not exclusive to games. It's got a really, really short shelf life. Like, once that initial, oh my god, it's back, wears off, you know, what else do you have left? And Sparking Zero, I thought, had a good campaign and a good bit of content, but, you know, overall, the longevity just wasn't there. But nonetheless, that'll be discounted. Elden Ring will be 40% off for $36. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, 20% off for $56. WWE 2K25 Deadman Edition, 40% off for $60. Hogwarts Legacy will be on sale. Star Wars Outlaws, 50% off for $35. Would like to see that cheaper. Sea of Thieves, one of those games that is pricier on PlayStation, but those Xbox games are a little bit more pricier at this point on PlayStation. 50% off for $19.99 there, so that's going to be something to check out. I mean, that's been one of the more successful Microsoft titles that has dropped, so take that for what you will. Red Dead 1, 40% off for $30 as well. I mean, Red Dead 1 is an all-time classic to me, but I totally get why people would not want to spend even $30 on on it. Again, I love the game, but nevertheless, might not be for everyone. Metaphor Refantazio is on sale. Sid Meier Civilization 7, Tekken 8, 50% off on Tekken 8. $35, still a little pricey for that, given it came out in January of 2024, but I digress. Battlefield 2042, 90% off for $5.99. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, 80% off for $12. Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition, 60% off on that. You've got the Fallout 4 Game of the Year and Skyrim Anniversary Bundle. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, the twin pack on that. That is 43% off, and that'll take it down to $57. I mean, those games are awesome. Rebirth especially is tremendous. Skyrim, a standalone special edition, is on sale. Witcher 3, Borderlands 3, 90% off for $5.99 on Steam. That was $2.99, so it'd be nice to get it for $2.99. Same with Battlefield 2042. That was $2.99 on Steam. So the Steam Summer Sale is beating out some of the deals here as far as those deep discounts, and hopefully PlayStation adopts that at some point, because some of these deals are so samey, and I think PlayStation will realize it at some point, that having a deep discount section, just copy Steam. Steam knows what they're doing. They rake in so much cash every big seasonal sale. Copy them and have a deep discount section where you can highlight 10, 15, 20 games and they're 80, 90, 95% off even, and then after that a sale goes, then they don't get to that price point for years. So I'm talking about you know, like a Borderlands 3 for this sale being 95% off for $2.99. What would be the harm in that? Get people in the mood to be playing Borderlands ahead of Borderlands 4. It'll be $2.99. You can finesse people on the DLC as well if they like Borderlands 3. And then be on your merry way after that, and then the next sale, bring it back up to $5.99 or $9.99, whatever you want to do. That should be the way these deals are these sales are structured. So there's some games that at least stand out, like Jedi Fallen Order, 75% off for $9.99. Okay, that's fine, whatever. I loved Fallen Order, a great game. But if that was $3.99, even $2.99, that would be a game that people would be like, whoa, let me check that out. And if it was featured as a deep discount, and then, you know, whenever the next sale runs around, it's back up to $6.99, and it's not getting down to that $1.99, $2.99 price point for years and years. And then when you do get it back down to $2.99 or $1.99, then it's a big deal again. That's how these sales should be structured, so you can highlight 20 to 30 games, or, you know, however many games, 10 to 30 games. The PlayStation Store's got so many games that you'll never run out of options of offering games at deep discounts, and you could have a section like that and people will gravitate towards that and buy those games in droves, and I assure you, you know, they'd be selling a lot more copies than whatever Fallen Order is going to sell at $9.99. That's my 2 cents, but they've got data. Maybe they know better than me. They probably do, but you know, Steam's doing that, and Steam's doing pretty damn well these days with all of their sales, so take that for what it's worth. RoboCop Rogue City will be on sale, Dead Island 2, Borderlands Collection, Pandora's Box, Dead Space 80% off for $13.99. I mean, that's going to be a great deal, of course, so definitely that's going to be a great pickup. Was a PlayStation Plus title, yeah, an essential title, but nevertheless, Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition will be 80% off. Nice to see that get back down to $7.99. It was holding up in price for a little bit after KCD 2 came out, and it was received really well, but yeah, that's down to $7.99. Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection, you can check that out at $48.74 with PlayStation Plus. I mean, you get a lot of games there. LA Noire, $20 on that. Gotham Knights will be on sale, 15%, I should say 85% off, 15% of its regular price. Would be $10.49, which honestly isn't the worst deal in the world. Like, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, $12 on that, bro. Put that in the bargain bin. That should be $5.99. There's no reason. That game was not that good, in my opinion, but nonetheless, that should be $5.99, and people would actually be like, wow, $5.99 for Tiny Tina's, I'll check that out. And again, with games like that, you finesse people on the back end with the DLC and things of that nature. I just feel like that's the route to go as far as that's concerned. Dying Light, the following Enhanced Edition, just got its retouched update, and hey, that's up to $8.99. That game's awesome. I'm doing another playthrough of that ahead of Dying Light the Beast, and man, I could talk about that game for hours, but that game a decade later is still phenomenal, and they updated the game a lot, so, you know, take that for what you will, but that game is tremendous. Assassin's Creed Valhalla Ragnarok Edition, 75% off. Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age, 50% off. Metro Saga Bundle is 15% of its original price, which would be $8.99, I believe. Yeah, $8.99 for 2033. Last Light and Exodus, great deal on that. Visions of Mana on sale. Octopath Traveler 2, 60% off for $24. That's a spicy deal. Great turn-based JRPG for all of you guys wanting more turn-based turn-based JRPGs, definitely check that out. That game is awesome. Plague Tale Requiem, 60% off. Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. It's one of those Square Enix JRPGs that's just gonna hold up in price in perpetuity, but 30% off on that for $35. Riders Republic, you know, another one of those games. That was down to $3.99 during the summer sale, and that was a deep discount, and it should be around that price. Like, the Skate Edition is $15 here. Come on, man. Let's get that a little bit cheaper here as well. And some of these games I just think should be hitting the bargain bin, at least for this sale, and having that deep discount element to it. Neo, The World Ends With You, $24 on that. Love that game as well. Wish they would do more with The World Ends With You as an IP, but a great deal on that. Ollie Ollie World, $4.99 on that is really good. So, and Saga Frontier 2 Remastered, which just came out, 25% off for $22.49. Some great deals for sure across the board here as a part of the summer sale early access deals, but the full sale will be kicking off on July the 15th. Be on the lookout for that, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thanks for watching. Sound off down below, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.